welcome to Splash Rendezvous. 5 minutes gone past 5. This lovely Thursday evening. We're back to give you our solutions journalism bit right here. Now, yesterday, Nigerians woke up to the news about the hike in the price of PMS, Premium Motor Spirit, and electricity tariff. Now, I read this earlier today. Nigeria's ruling All Progressives Congress has described the recent hike in the pump price of Premium Motor Spirit, PMS, and electricity tariff as evidence of an administration that is working in the interest of all Nigerians. And so I should ask you if you agree whether this government, this party, is working in the interest of Nigeria. The party made a statement today in response to the People's Democratic Party's stance on the fuel hike on Wednesday, which blamed the latter's 16 years rule for the country's current woes. The main opposition party, the PDP, in an earlier statement had joined some Nigerians on social media to reject the 151 naira 56 kobo new price per litre for the petrol. That's on the one side. On the other side, the power sector had received the news that there will be a tariff hike. You know how we've been postponing the tariff hike here and there this year, and we've tried as many times as possible to fight, to shout, but this time they have moved from what we used to know as cost-reflective tariff to now what they called service-reflective tariff. And so we need to think about this. Michael Olatunbosun is here. Michael, thank you for joining us on the program today.
Thank you very much for having us again today. Good evening to everybody. Tunde, good evening to you too.
Tunde Olawuwo is also here. Hi, Tunde.
I'm fine. Good evening.
Good evening.
To Sharon, to Michael, to everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Good to have you. Right. The point this evening is combining these two things, and these are very sensitive part of our socioeconomic activities. I mean, every day we have to do something with the power and fuel. And when we talk about our inflation figures, we know that these are factors that are responsible sometimes for inflation figures. I was talking to Michael and some colleagues this afternoon. I said, even the woman who has a shop in your neighborhood, probably who sells puff-puff, will also be affected by this. Whether the power tariff hike or the petroleum, price hike. So I'll start from Tunde. Tunde, APC says it's working in the interest of Nigerians. These two. What would you say to these hikes?
Okay, I choose not to listen to neither the APC nor the PDP on this one, because it is clear that, these are the wrong elements, when you bring issues like this on the table. We elected a government in place. I would expect that the president, who also doubles as the petroleum minister, should be speaking. And in the event that he chooses not to, like we've seen on very many occasions, there is also a certain Minister of State for Petroleum, that's former Governor of Bayelsa, Silva. If we're not getting that, what about the National Assembly, led by Ahmed Lawan and Femi Gbajabiamila? These are the elected representatives of the people. They've got mandates. They have the power to make decisions on what affects us, rather than, just ramblings from political party A and party B. Because the truth is, by the time we get to 2023 now, all of this will not matter anymore. Just like what you're saying in Edo State, nobody's really talking about what affects, an average person on the street. They're just, fighting over their interests. But to come down to your question, I do not believe this government or the previous ones before it is working in the interest of the people. It is clear. Like you said, that even at the very basic level, that the woman selling, pop-off, somewhere, we have to increase. You can't blame that woman. because the truth is that this new price of the new pump price of fuel will change absolutely everything. It's not just going to be for those who have to service their vehicles or fill their generator, but it will affect everything. I mean, just a couple of minutes ago, we had one of us, DJ, saying that look, the fact
I got the show.
Staring him in the face now is that an event that he has been paid for long ago to go perform in Lagos for has now become a totally different ball game, because the cost of transporting his equipment from Ibadan to Lagos now will suddenly jump up. Like the Yorubas will say, at this point in time. It's just unfortunate. It is very, very sad that we are dealing with so many things at this point. There's the pandemic that is ravaging us. A lot of people have lost their jobs. That is the truth. It's staring us in the face. Even for those who are still on the job, from 50% to 30% to 75%, 0%, some are just there, hanging in, and you're having all of this right now. I understand, where, in the world of business, they say you have to be pragmatic. But this is the point where our government needs to come in, to give us some kind of stimulus, and it's not happening, which is a huge shame.
Now, Michael, I like you too. I know you like data, but we toy with these statements or with these concepts. Deregulation of the downstream sector. We talked a whole lot about it. We put it somewhere. We talked about subsidy. We talked about another name for subsidy,
Under recovery
and the differentials and the rest. We talked about that. We kept it somewhere in the cooler. At a point, we began to talk about market force that will determine these. Here we are. What is playing out right now? Labour said, at the end of the day, Nigerians are becoming poorer and poorer. In fact, many people are already on the edge. Many workers are already on the edge. Certainly, we cannot guarantee industrial peace and harmony, and we will have to call our organs, and we will have to also react, but we reject it in its entirety.
Yeah, I like the position of Labour, and what beats me is what Tunde has already said, it that the two ministers that we have in the petroleum sector, the Minister of Petroleum, who is essentially the President, and the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, they've not spoken to us. And basically, they've been sending, emissaries, if you like, to, try to cajole us into accepting whatever argument they bring to the table. They brought arguments, including the base and the baseless, to the table to explain some of these things. You talked about subsidy. We spend trillions of naira subsidizing what we cannot find on our streets in the petrol stations. Many of these, most of these petrol, most of them, smuggled through the borders into other countries and sold at very exorbitant prices, despite the fact that they are being subsidized for those who should be the primary users of the products. You have different kinds of language. We have the the penchant for using different kinds of language. We are very good to in using language to explain some of the policies or mispolicies of government.
You have come again. What is mispolicy?
Okay, just hold on. But basically, what I'm trying to say is this: I believe that the government owes us explanation as to what is going on. How can you have 4 refineries in a country of 206 million people and none of them is working even at 1% capacity? Why can we not refine our petroleum? That's a very big slap on a country like Nigeria that we describe as the giant of Africa. That we, a lot of things don't add up in this country. And I am siding with Labour as well. The government needs to come out to tell Nigerians what the real picture is. We were told that we have done away with subsidy. It's now under recovery. What exactly are these things? They're just using technicalities to veil, to cover the faces of Nigerians, and then all we just do is we sleep, wake, and nothing seems to be working in this country.
Michael, you just touched something that is really very, very bad for Nigeria. I saw this report that says two Nigeria refineries gulp 85.9 billion naira but produced no fuel.
That is more than the capital vote for education and health combined. So even if we cannot get refineries, so we can't also get hospitals, we can't get our universities to be up and running. So you see, the issue is that some people are just there to make sure that things happen for themselves and their families alone. That's what's going on in this country. They're just kicking us about like football, which is so unfortunate. How can you be spending that much money?
So they come to this issue of refineries.
They have managers, they have GMs, they have directors of
and
this,
we pay them salaries.
They're all billionaires. That is the truth. Once you find yourself, you are fortunate, quote and unquote, to find yourself in that space. Even if you occupy that office for 2 weeks, you're going to become a billionaire.
Wow.
So that explains why we don't have one refinery functioning optimally, but you have billionaires, littering, that space. Don't also forget, aside from maybe just, the two ministers, the president and the minister of state, the regulatory arm of NNPC, that is the Petroleum Product Price,
PPMC,
has also been silent.
You have PPPRA, you have PPMC,
on this one.
So basically, it's just the major marketers speaking, and they are even threatening that they should be selling
161,
155, 160,
yes,
161. So at this point in time, we are just at the mercy of the marketers.
Nigeria spent 148 billion naira in the last 13 months on 3 refineries, but produced less than 40 metric tons of crude oil. That's a June report published by Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. 40
metric tons would be something that Ibadan only will consume.
Now, the Port Harcourt refinery has a capacity of 210,000 barrels per day. The Kaduna refinery, 10,000 barrels per day, and Warri refinery, 125,000 barrels per day. And none of them is producing.
It's so sad that this won't stop. Today is the 3rd of September 2020. We're talking about 151, 155.
Yes.
Trust me, fast forward to a year's time, we will be discussing 250. Because from day one, it's always been like this. I mean, I remember when my dad used to tell me the story of how it happened under General Gowon, that it moved from 6 kobo to 8.5 kobo. It was a jump of about 40%.
Yes,
and they were angry. And this was at the time when we just found oil. We just found fortune. There was even the talk of not knowing what to do with that money.
I was looking at the
today we are here. How many years
and you're talking about this,
and we're still talking about
the audit report. I want to go over a break. The audit reports showed that a cumulative loss of about 412.8 billion naira was incurred from the operations of the nation's 4 refineries in 2017 and 2018.
You see, that's just a part of the rot that has eaten this country, to the bones. You're just talking about the refineries. In 2017, I was in Kaduna. The Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna the last time they played football in that place was during the World Cup in 1999. There are people there who earn salaries in a stadium. There are people so you see, the refineries are just one of them.
And
there are so many of them.
Just to give you a vivid picture of how, this this is so close to home. We're on a station in Abeokuta. Okay.
Yes.
That station depends 100% on generator.
Wow.
Okay.
It's not the national grid.
No.
There's no basis for it because there's even no supply. Okay. It will be a waste of time, waste of resources. So we run 24 hours on generator.
Give me a minute. Yemi Alabi, how?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. So today, the boss, I'm not going to listen to any of the political parties, but I'm going to listen to myself and what the facts tell me. So earlier today, I commented on somebody's post because they were talking about why we are the way we are, and I just said what I feel that can happen, because when Labour when they were clamoring for the 30,000 naira, remember what I said on this platform? I said that is not going to help them. Whatever they get in form of salary raise is going to be lost to inflation. I said what I think we need is a functional public public transportation system.
I remember. Yeah, true.
And I also think that we need a functional mortgage system. I also think we need a functional scholarship system. Take away the bureaucracy of the universities, grant them the autonomy they deserve. Let government hands off tertiary education. Stop subsidizing it. Leave it. We will evolve. But no, we clamored for 30,000 naira. Where has that 30,000 naira gotten us now? You see, we are on a long thing. The day we decide to take the art, we're going to have a government that will tell you everybody mole and do the right thing.
You did say that in English. Okay. Thank you, Yemi. Thank you, Yemi. I have to go for a break. Thank you. All right, it's still Splash Rendezvous. When we come back, we'll move on to the issue of power. Dayo is here already, and we have a guest from IBEDC. I'm also going to call someone from Lagos, from Power Up Nigeria. And so we'll talk about power. What's the difference between cost-reflective tariff and service-reflective tariff? Service-reflective tariff seems to be something that was baked out recently. I wonder when you started service-reflective tariff. We'll be back in a moment. To stay with us.
Fún àwọn tí wàhálà yìí ti dá súnkẹrẹ gbàkẹrẹ sí ìgbòkègbodò ayé wọn, fún àwọn tí wọ́n ń bẹ̀rù àfẹ̀mọ́jú nítorí ebi tí ó lè bá òwúrọ̀ jí, fún àwọn tí wọn ò ní lè rán ọmọ wọn lọ sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́ àti àwọn ọmọ tí wọn ò lè lọ sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́, fún àwọn tí wọn ò mọ̀ wípé àwọn máa bọ́ nínú sànmọ́ ní àsìkò yìí, àti àwọn tí wọ́n rò wípé òpin ti dé. Àwa sọ wípé òpin kọ́ nìyí, ẹ má ṣe sọ ìrètí nù nítorí wípé ìrètí ń bẹ, ìtàn ìgbésí ayé yín ò tí ì parí. Lakasera, mo fẹ́ràn ohun mímu yìí.
A fully furnished, nice and comfortable hostel accommodation in University of Ibadan, or a place for seminars and executive trainings at the same venue? You do not have to worry. Adebayo Akonde Hall suits your lodging needs and provides you a home away from home. Adebayo Akonde Hall is a 4-star hostel built in a serene environment with constant supply of electricity. It has fully furnished rooms that gives you great comfort at an affordable price. Adebayo Akonde Hall is located at Ajibode Extension, University of Ibadan. To make reservations, visit www.adebayohall.com or call the numbers 0805 699 8718, 0805 699 8719, 0805 699 8720. Adebayo Akonde Hall. Built for comfort. Built for you.
Orí DSTV nìkan lẹ ti máa gbádùn ìfẹsẹ̀wọnsẹ̀ eré bọ́ọ̀lù tó lágbára pẹ̀lú ìdíje ìfẹsẹ̀wọnsẹ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe ń gbà wọ́n lọ́wọ́ ní gbogbo ọ̀sẹ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn líìgì tó dángájíá jùlọ lágbàáyé Premier League, La Liga, Serie A àti Champions League. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Ìgalò, Salah, Kane, Aguero, Pogba, Griezmann, Messi àti Ronaldo. Láti kódà HD, àgbàdá díṣì ìwòran àti owó ìwòran ìpele compact fún oṣù kan fún $19.99. A ní ìdíje ìfẹsẹ̀wọnsẹ̀ bọ́ọ̀lù tó dáa jù lágbàáyé lórí DSTV nìkan.
My guy, wetin do you? Why your face just dey down like this?
Omo, na hunger dey knack me.
Alaye, make we go chop KFC, Joe.
Guy, you don't understand. See, I want chop better.
You haven't heard? KFC just launched the new KFC Yumilicious.
KFC Yamili?
Introducing the new KFC Yumilicious, a mouth-watering combination of fried yam and delicious pepper sauce you will surely love. Available at all KFC outlets nationwide. Also on Jumia Food.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Add more Jara for me now. Customer, it's Gary you're buying, not 3 crowns milk. Yes, everybody knows that if you want Jara, you get 3 crowns milk. Really? Buy 16th of EVAP or 2 refill powder. You get 4 milk sachets as Jara plus other exciting gifts.
True. No better way to appreciate moms for being the heart of the home than a heart-friendly Jara. So, get more of your 3 crowns milk now. 3 crowns milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Xiaomi offers mind-blowing smartphones for everyone. Exude legendary class with the sleek design and rapid performance of the Redmi Note 9 Pro. Enjoy photography with its glorious 64MP quad camera and top-notch user experience. Qualcomm Snapdragon 720G on 6GB to 128GB memory. The future is in your hands. The Redmi Note 9 is a professional's dream come true with its swag of a superstar. Built to wow your imagination with its captivating display and side-mounted fingerprint sensor. Powerfully crafted with a 5020 mAh battery to keep you company all day. Still wanting more? Enjoy 30W fast charging, AI face unlock, and Corning Gorilla Glass 5. Outstanding. If you're looking for a phone that combines the uniqueness of facial recognition, the seamlessness of home appliances control capability, long-lasting battery, super cool kaleidoscope videos at a budget-friendly price, Redmi 9 answers your quest in more ways than one. It guarantees you a feel of class because it was designed with you in mind. Xiaomi, innovation for everyone.
Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back. Thank you for being there with us on this frequency, Splash 105.5 FM. We would like to hear from you today because we know that this concerns everyone. Everybody is touched by this. You bought fuel 148 naira yesterday. Today you drove into a filling station and you're asked to pay 160 naira, 159 naira, 152 naira. The meaning of that. Now, we also woke up to a service tariff hike. There's IBEDC officer here, and I want to also speak with a power up, someone in Lagos. He's a power activist, and I'd like to speak with him very quickly. And then we'll come to the man in orange. Welcome to the program. Okay, let me welcome these gentlemen. Dayo Kumawale, welcome to the program.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Good to have you here. And Mr. Frank William, welcome to the program.
It has always been a pleasure.
I know it's always been a pleasure. Tayo Adigbele, welcome to the program as well. How are you, Tayo?
Very well, Sean. Good evening.
Good evening. Good to have you here, Tayo.
It's always a pleasure.
Now, Tayo, I know that you're a power sector activist. Tell me what you understood by service reflective tariff.
Well, you are putting me in a very, very unfortunate position. But unfortunately, that's the task that we have taken up on ourselves. But to speak about what the service reflective tariff is, as we understand it, it's a different kind of approach to electricity billing. In this case, before what we used to have was different grades of consumers.
Yes.
But now they are using hours of supply as the yardstick for the cost of electricity that comes to the consumers.
Okay.
So, for instance, the new service reflective tariff, we have people that enjoys about 20 hours per day, paying a different fee as compared to those that enjoys about 15, 16 hours of electricity per day, paying another different fee. So as against those that are also enjoying about 8 hours or above, paying a different type of fee.
All right. Now, Tayo, did you envisage this coinage coming out after twice we have tried to, talk down a high tariff hike? Now we were talking about cost-reflective tariff. I remember that we had a lot of interviews on this matter, but right now we now have service-reflective tariff. Did you envisage this as someone who is in the sector, who also have been watching the sector with all the problems that we have in the sector? Did you envisage that there will be service-reflective tariff, or is this a backdoor way of simply just jacking up the tariff?
Well, you have asked so many questions that are loaded in this, and as an observer and someone that is very conversant in the industry, and as a representative of consumers, yes, I would say that the release of this tariff as it is comes as a shocker or as a surprise. It's what we've always expected. Let me say it like this. I said it recently, about 2 days ago, that I want to speak in support of the tariff hike, and I got a lot of attack from people.
I saw that on Twitter. I saw it.
But you see, I think we've overbeaten the conversation of tariff hike for too long. And to be very honest with you, I think maybe we're at that point where we'll just see what it takes the only way out. Since the day one of this was coming on board, they've always been saying that we're not paying a cost-reflective tariff, right?
Yeah.
And they've always been, asking for higher tariff all along. But now that they've been given the higher tariff, I think anything after this, all Nigerians can, well, we all know, right? But now I wonder what they want to ask for after. I mean, they've taken what they always wanted. Let us see what they're going to be asking for after this one. But it's unfortunate that it must also be said that it's unfortunate that this is coming at this time. Many Nigerians are still suffering from the fallout of COVID-19. Many Nigerians have lost their jobs. Many Nigerians are struggling to even come to terms with the reality of what's going on, And here we are. The economy also is not doing well. Today we still, going on like 420, 450 in the market. So it is a big challenge on its own. It's a big challenge on its own. Okay, we also have the what's it called? Fuel price increase as well. So I want to say is that this is too much for consumers to take at this particular point in time. And yes, while we were always expecting that there will be a tariff increase one way along the line, I also believe that this might also be coming at a very long time for consumers to just swallow. Let me also say this, that this tariff increase is also a demand by the World Bank and the AFD, African Development Bank, because of the loans that they're going to give us. They also insist that we must have a tariff hike. We've had it, but it's left to be seen if it is something that will go down very well with a lot of consumers.
All right.
There are other issues that they are supposed to take care of. But I think I always talk about that as we go on.
I know, but let me get back to you. Let me also speak with those who are in the studio, and I'll get back to you. Just stand by for me, please.
All right.
Thank you, Tayo. Okay, now, that was Tayo Adigbele of Power Up Nigeria. I'll come to Mr. Frank Williams, who is representing the IBEDC here. And Mr. Frank.
Yes, please.
Service reflective tariff.
Exactly.
And I saw that you were nodding when he was trying to explain what it means.
Exactly, because it's correct.
So for me, I think that it's self-explanatory.
Exactly.
That those who get more will pay more.
Mm-hmm.
But I have this simple question for you. How do you determine who gets more? And is that process of determining who gets more open to the customers?
Our service is distribution of electricity, basically. It's for us to provide reliable, safe, efficient, and sustainable electricity that will guarantee increasing satisfaction from our customers. That is basically the goal of this scenario. You have to appreciate the fact that this talk about tariff hike is a discourse that has been on even before the advent of the COVID pandemic, because it is part of the process of reviving the power sector, the multi-year tariff order, MITO. And the last time we had MITO was 2017. And in that charter, it was said that owing to various circumstances like inflation, costs, and all of that factors, the cost of electricity, the tariff, will have to be reviewed upward. Because everything we are talking about in the whole world today has gone up.
Even though you have not answered my question.
Yes.
You talk about MITO.
Yes.
But does that charter does it talk about improvement of service delivery?
Improvement of service delivery is hinged on this MITO we are talking about.
So we fund,
because you know what,
we fund your business.
Listen to me. You see, you are underplaying this. What we are, the quagmire we are in.
Am I?
Yes, because the power sector was in a coma before the advent of privatization. What prompted privatization? What brought about privatization?
What is power sector
the
in
government
right now?
said they will need private initiative.
Yes.
Private funds. All of these were galvanized, brought in to revamp the sector. But what we met on ground, it's like you want to buy an animal from the cat family, and you are looking at it from afar, only to discover that it is not just a cat. This is a lion.
You are yet to answer
the situation.
I want to know, how do you determine who gets 12 hour, 14 hour?
It is based on that. It's selfless. The service, and our service is based on the quantum and the tenor of energy supply to you.
Do you have a meter to determine how many hours Federal gets?
Let me tell you, each of our transformer has meter, outgoing, incoming, and outgoing. So if you're in your area, if your transformer, we build whatever we are built from the grid is based on the amount of energy that the transformer gives out, and the transformer is connected to the feeder, and the feeder to the jet substation. So that is how it is built. You know, it's a chain.
So every point there's a metering.
There is a meter.
System.
As you go to transmission, the outgoing and the incomer are there to trap all the energy.
So you know how many hours supply
exactly.
to
You know, kilowatt is kilowatt per hour. Okay? WPH. Yes. Exactly. That is how it is measured. So it is hourly. The calculation is hourly. So if you cannot compare somebody that were
are you determining how many hours of power I get, or I know how many hours of power I get?
We will know through our the transformer on the feeder, and the transformer on the meter on the feeder, the meter on the transformer. It will capture it.
Permit me right now. I want us to separate two different customers now. There are some people who are prepaid.
Fine.
Okay, in fact, three different customers.
Exactly.
Some are prepaid, some are postpaid, some are estimated.
Those are the three main category of billing.
How do you put these people on that? I saw that table and I'm wondering, okay, so especially those on estimated billing.
Fine. I've answered the question. It is through that meter. The meter that captures the electricity that goes into your transformer. That helps us to know the quantum of energy that area has used. And let me tell you, let's come in. So we now pick those on reading. We separate. The remaining, and that's where the effort, the real work is. If in your area about 5,000 people are using some substations, and we are able to track 3,000, and those ones their meters have been read, the 2,000 would have to account for the remaining, that because whether
they took it or not?
No, it's scientific. The transformer said that this area use this. You have to start from that.
It's estimated.
No, wait now. It is tracked already. The transformer that supplies light to your area said that you use 5,000 kilowatts of energy. Now we're able to track it from our billing to 3,000 people who are receiving bills. It means that there are some people that don't have this. So those on estimates, we now sit down and do it. It cannot be a perfect work because it's a near perfect.
All right.
Metering is the solution.
Mr. Frank, we understood this system.
Exactly. So that's how we go about it.
Michael is itching to ask you a question, but after this break.
Okay.
Stay with us.
Splash FM 105.5.
Fún àwọn tí wàhálà yìí ti dá súnkẹrẹ gbàkẹrẹ sí ìgbòkègbodò ayé wọn. Fún àwọn tí wọ́n ń bẹ̀rù àfẹ̀mọ́jú nítorí ebi tí ó lè bá òwúrọ̀ jí. Fún àwọn tí wọn ò ní lè rán ọmọ wọn lọ sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́ àti àwọn ọmọ tí wọn ò lè lọ sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́. Fún àwọn tí wọn ò mọ̀ wípé àwọn máa bọ́ nínú sànmọ́ ní àsìkò yìí. Àti àwọn tí wọ́n rò wípé òpin ti dé. Àwa sọ wípé òpin kọ́ nìyí. Ẹ má ṣe sọ̀rètí nù nítorí wípé ìrètí ń bẹ. Ìtàn ìgbésí ayé yín ò tí ì parí. Sarah, mo fẹ́ràn ohun mímu yìí.
My generation is unbreakable. We know they fear. For what? Till someone says, I will tell your mother.
Donatusu, put on your mask or else.
Wear it for her. Wear it for me. Everywhere you go, MTN. Spread the message, not the virus. Visit wearit4.me.
Hypo toilet cleaner. Sachet na 30 naira. It dey kill them for toilet. Affordable and easy to use. Hypo toilet cleaner. It dey kill germs. It dey remove stain for toilet. Affordable and easy to use. We have got toilet cleaner. With hypo toilet cleaner.
Hypo toilet cleaner. Available in sachet for just 30 naira.
Wait, stop. Who says we have to go back to normal? What if the biggest change is you and me? What if we choose to be open and say,
I will not think of my job as unimportant.
I will not spend time thinking about the past.
I will hang out more with my crew.
I will keep social distance from bad energy. We'll pull through if we choose to be open like never before. Ready to be open? Coca-Cola.
My mother-in-law and I are like 5 and 6. And our Gile game is copy and paste. But when it comes to our favorite milk, we're so different. My mother-in-law loves her pig-filled milk because it's low in cholesterol. And I love my pig full cream milk because it's rich and creamy. That's why I buy both. So choose your pig today.
Peak. Reach for your peak. Some say it takes imagination to see a whole new world. I say it takes a 6.55-inch screen to go beyond gaming or streaming. Go big with the new Nokia 5.3 smartphone big screen. Take quality pictures with quad camera with AI imaging and stay charged for 2 days. And with the latest Android 11 upgrade, it's a smooth experience. Get it from 79,500 Naira only. Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back. It's Splash Rendezvous on Splash 105.5 FM. We're live on Facebook. Maybe you want to see the face of IBEDC in the studio. He's live on Facebook. You can see him. The Frank Williams is here. Tunde Olawuwo is here. Dayo Gumbawale is here. And Michael Olatunbosun is also here. And I said Michael is itching to ask. He was itching to ask a question the other time. You can call us 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. Okay, so I'll throw the ball to Michael to pass.
Thank you very much. The press release that IBEDC made public on this service reflective tariff, they said that it is to provide more efficient and reliable service. Right. It is also to upgrade aging infrastructure. It is also to allow you to be more responsive to complaints. Exactly. And the analogy of travel that I was using off the microphone is, so I am going to challenge to board a car to Lagos. I have to help him before we take off to pay for his bad tire. That's what you're telling me. I am supposed to find a ready car, board it to Lagos. That's what it means. You started out by saying that you met very poor infrastructure and the rest of it. If someone puts for sale on a car out there and you get to the car and you see it and the car is bad, what do? You walk away. That's a very lame argument. I don't feel very happy that every time IBEDC and all the other discourse engage in interviews, they always give us the excuse of over 10 years ago. I'm not happy about that. That's number one. Number two, the NERC in its press release says that one of the other, amongst others, one of the conditions to bring this to light is to meter every customer. You have not metered every customer. In fact, you have not metered 30% of your customers in the southwest of Nigeria. Why? Why are you subjecting Nigerians to, telling Nigerians that they have to buy your wardrobe before you dress and get out of the house?
I like what you are saying. You are talking about the ideals.
Wow.
The ideals. And you have to bridge ideals and reality together. Realization of ideals and streaming down the realities on ground. The reality, we are trying to shy away from the reality.
What's the reality?
The reality is that the Nigerian economy, of whose substratum is the power sector, a major driver of the economy, is in comatose. And that's what prompted privatization.
Why don't you divorce this thing? Why don't you just say federal government, IBEDC is quitting the power sector so that those who are serious and are ready to invest will come?
When you
People
talk
who
like
will stop
this,
giving excuses.
you want to rape reality.
Wow.
Yes, because I'm trying to draw a real situation. What has led to it? Do you know that money came in concerning privatization? That we are here shows that we paid. We have the largest shareholding, and that makes us the owners of the business, and that money did not come from the sky. It came through financial institutions with attendant interests that keeps accruing every month. You have to appreciate that. So these are the realities. And also the fact that the dilapidated infrastructure.
Stop.
Yes. These are the realities on ground.
Why did you buy dilapidated infrastructure?
Where we have bought it. It's like telling me I am in the river and you are telling me why are you in the river?
So those banks that borrowed those banks that borrowed this coast money saw the dilapidated infrastructure and gave money to fund dilapidated infrastructure.
See,
that's the same argument.
The power sector is more than the scenario of transport that you have done.
Not Mr. I'm coming to you.
Yes, please.
Let's not go on this argument for too long. I understand it, and we've seen it. And Michael has also expressed the reality for him.
No, he's talking about the ideal.
No. He's saying something about the fact that when you venture into a business, you see it through before you jump into it. So whatever liability you found there should not constitute your excuses anymore, because you own the liability. But I'm not on the side of the argument. I'm just not on anybody's side.
Fine.
I'm on the table here. My point is, would you say that the discos do not have the capacity to meter their customers?
You see, why are you throwing the stones only at the discourse? Because the stakeholders involve the government,
who should
NEC.
Okay, answer me.
The owners, the private owners.
Answer me. I mean, I don't want to.
So it is
answer
not.
Me point blank. Who should meter the customers?
Let me speak.
No, who should meter the customers?
But it's a holistic approach.
Holistic
we are to meter. They say there are a lot of conditions for us to meter. And the conditions are not there. The scenarios that will warrant all of these things are not happening. COVID has made nonsense of so many projections. I hope you know.
Before we get to COVID,
even at that time, our economy too was not doing very well. We were in one recession or the other.
So discourse.
When we came on board, it was around 107 to 200 naira.
So those who are within the holistic, tripartite or four-partite, whatever the name is.
Exactly.
No, who are responsible for it cannot meter Nigerians. That's what it means.
We can't meter Nigeria if all of these requirements are met.
What requirements?
Funds. When we came on board, we met CAPME, Credit Advancement Permitting Implementation.
Who will give you the money to meter Nigerians? Who?
You see, do you know the cost of meter when we came and the cost of meter now?
I don't know. I'm not in the business.
So these are the things. When we came on board, a lot of issues came that you read in the papers. So that many conditions are no longer being met. You imagine a MITO that's supposed to have taken effect over 2 years ago. It's just happening now. And you are talking about sudden improvement. The sector has been in a very sorry state in the last 50 years. And you want us to fix it suddenly. That's what we are talking about. And I'm saying, let's match the ideals with realities. It is when we do that, then there can be fairness.
Okay, I recall that recently there was this plan in place. Since it is clear and has been made obvious that you can't meter everybody, you are not in a position to meter everybody.
That's a categorical statement. We cannot meter everybody immediately. I think you need to add something to it.
Okay, so what is on the ground? How long
we can meter, but you have to tell us it's not something we're going to do now because a lot of people are expecting that. Well, when the president said there's a waiver on
you can't
on
meter
meters,
everybody,
then in a month we should meter all our customers. I mean, come on, you know and I know that.
If you are to put a timeline on it, you can't meter us in 20 years at this rate.
Well, that may be an exaggeration, but
at this rate, clearly.
No, with the removal of the waiver, no, I mean, with the removal of all the concessions.
My question basically is, I know recently there was an agreement, or let me say an arrangement in place where people will apply.
Exactly, meter as a provider.
Tell us, how far have you gone with that?
We're making progress, but you have to appreciate the fact that these licensees are also business people. They are in business, and there are complaints, you cannot shy away from them. They said the indices, the microeconomic indices is not helping their business. They project that they want to bring in like 50,000 meters at a particular period in time, and they have a particular exchange. We don't produce any. What do we produce anyway? So they have to go out and bring some of these things, and these things are no longer coming at. They borrowed money from the banks, so they say it's eating up all of the. It has eaten so many things. It's making nonsense of. I mean, I cannot be in business and be making losses
as it is now.
And that's why you see there was a difference between 24,000 naira and the present one you are paying now. 9,000 naira, 288 naira, 66 kobo. You can see that gap because our naira, our economy, it's the rate at which those things are coming are still at the dollar rate, the same price. But our purchasing power cannot just meet up, so it's affecting business.
Okay, so now let me ask: do you, share the anger of our people?
Of course.
When they complain about increase in tariff, especially when they are not getting commensurate supply.
Yes. I won't say I not share in the anger, but I could feel the anger because sharing in anger is like saying I should participate in the anger.
Are you not living in Nigeria?
Yes, but I can feel it.
Do you feel what they feel?
Why would I feel it?
You just say I'm Nigerian. Get powers.
I'm a human being.
More.
Yes, no.
And as a staff of IBDC,
scenario.
They don't connect.
Answer this question.
My house is not connected to Kanji Dam direct.
I don't know.
What I'm saying is this.
I still partake of the plight of the people in my area.
Who is not getting better supply? I've been struggling to get meters.
Fine.
And I'm being asked to pay more.
Let me bring a balance to that thing.
How do you assuage, my pain?
It's not all of our customers that are complaining. I hope you know. Yes. Okay. Some customers are collecting. They are enjoying 20 plus.
And what's the percentage of that?
Well, I just want to tell you that there are a lot of people who are saying, "Oh boy, you guys are improving."
No,
you cannot do 0.01.
I've opened the phone lines.
The lines
Let me tell you. Most of the time from experience, this is experiential. People who are enjoying will not call. It's those who are complaining. I mean, why would I buy credit if I'm going to say, well done, no?
Because they are
it's those who are complaining.
Absolute minority.
No, you cannot say that. We have maximum demand customers. We have
who is the maximum?
We have VIP customers.
Who is a maximum demand customer?
Wow, that's discriminatory.
It's not.
All of us should have lights.
Why are you not living in? Why is everybody not living in the urban area and enjoying the amenities that urban areas enjoy?
Okay,
that's discriminatory. It is according to development.
Let's get
You can't compare Felele with industrial, with...
You said industrial.
Yeah, the word industrial is self-explanatory.
Industrial. So
exactly how many industrial areas do we have?
We have in Ibadan, for instance.
But they are also GRAs. How about GRAs?
How many GRAs do we have in Ibadan?
No, let me tell you, electricity takes more power
than we do.
Electricity, let me tell you, the way electricity is wired.
All right.
Let's take
calls. 0809 155 1055. I know a number of people have been buzzing the lines, and so let's start taking the calls now. Mr. Frank, we want to take calls. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us. What's the name? Where are you calling from? Yes.
Hello, am I on to Splash?
You are on to Splash FM. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
You.
Yes.
Wow.
We can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, the gentleman there is just trying to defend ICDC or another discourse.
There. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Sean.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Tunde. Good evening, Dayo. Good evening, Mike and Mr. Frank.
Thank you, sir. Good evening.
I believe Nigeria will be great again.
I say amen to that.
I
I am Abdulaziz Mayera from Mobile Kolodo.
All right.
Firstly, I want to appeal to Olatunde listen to us. Now before COVID. Secondly, as far as I'm concerned, on this petroleum, I believe President Muhammad Buhari can look into it with other people in his government. I will suggest outright sales of all our refineries. So people working there should be retired and they should go and enjoy their accrued money. So then give opportunities for people who want to build new refineries of modern days that will produce oil and sell at will. The government can regulate.
All right, Abdulaziz.
Secondly, on power. Hello, good evening.
Thank you, Abdulaziz. Hello, good evening. Yes. Hello, good evening. Welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. You have the line, please. Go ahead. Oh, that's gone.
Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Abiodun. I'm calling you from Akpete.
Abiodun from Akpete. Abiodun, do you get 12 hours of power supply?
Yeah, we don't even have power for more than 1 month here. Our transformer is down.
Oh. In Akpete? Where in Akpete specifically? Where?
JJ Power Line, Idimango.
JJ Power Line, Idimango. Okay.
Yeah, the Siwaju quarters and Unity quarters.
All right.
Our transformer has been down for 1 month.
For 1 month now, so you have no power. You have no power supply for 1 month.
Yeah, for 1 month. I believe one of their problems is that when they ventured into that business, they thought it's like a profit-making business that will happen over a day. They don't have the technical ability. I believe all the IBDC transmission company, GENCOs should be sold, and we should bring in expertise from abroad that will train our people regarding that aspect. If you look at the telecommunication sector, one of the successes is that majority of people that come into the business are foreigners. So that's what they should do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. He said majority. Can we have one? Just one? All right, we have to go. Okay. Gentlemen, I want your final shots individually. Let's start from Michael.
I just like to say that everybody should do the right thing in this country. Those who are supposed to give us electricity, those who are supposed to be responsible for petroleum and the rest of it, should think about the oath that they swore to in the first instance. Is it to bring inconvenience to the people or to solve society's problem? That's the question.
Tunde.
Okay, I'll leave with this, remembering, one of our former presidents who a lot of people believe had socialist inclinations, that's late Umar Musa Yar'Adua. The only president who, did not at any point in time increase the pump price of fuel.
His name was written on that table.
Yeah, he reduced it from 75 to 65 naira.
And he reversed the sale of the refineries.
Yes.
All right. Dio.
All right. I just want to appeal to IBDC because if I know Nigeria pretty well, this decision has come to stay. We can rant for as many times as we like. I just want to appeal to them to please consider the poor people. Because I can imagine the unmetered people who live close to estates.
And see light.
Exactly.
Seeing power.
And they will most likely suffer.
Defense demarcating you and the GRA. I mean, you have no
exactly.
power.
These people will most likely suffer.
Finally, if you unfortunately live close to VIP customers.
The truth about it is that it's a very, very sensitive tariff. It has taken care of the purchasing power of our customers. Yeah. It has taken care of the vulnerable, those who are really affected. They are not. If you are having power supply from 8 hours down,
Mr. Frank,
below 8 hours, your tariff will not be increased.
I'm bringing you back.
We've taken care of the poor, of the vulnerable.
This thing you said, the last one you said, now I'm bringing you back.
We'll come because we need to fill this gap.
My name is Oluwaseun. Nigeria will be great again.